And now, with generative AI, search will do more for you than you ever imagined. So whatever's on your mind, and whatever you need to get done, just ask. And Google will do the Googling for you.
Wait, what did she say? That's right, Google just announced that AI overviews are coming to over 1 billion users by the end of the year. And that means that generative AI is coming to Google search today. Okay, it was yesterday, but pretend it was today. Now, for those of you that have been following along with SGE or Search Generative Experience throughout the year, you know that this is not big news. We've known that this was coming, but it is now live. In this video, we're going to react to the announcement, and we're specifically going to focus on how these AI overviews will affect local SEO. And so if you're a small business owner that serves local customers, you're going to want to pay attention because this video could break down how SEO will change for the rest of 2024 and beyond. Let's get into it.
With AI overviews, Google does the work for you. Instead of piecing together all the information yourself, you can ask your question. And as you see here, you can get an answer instantly, complete with a range of perspectives and links to dive deeper.
Now, I find this interesting because Google is making it seem like people are clicking on the corroboration links at the bottom of SGE. All right, it took 1 million searches to finally trigger it, but this is what an AI overview looks like right now out in the wild. And so I searched, what is SEO cloaking? So we're seeing a lot of informational keywords getting these overviews. And when you click on here, you get these corroborating sources. But here's the thing. This is what people have been worried about this whole time, is this leads to zero-click searches. I just got the answer. I don't need to click. And this is why people are panicking in the national SEO land, which are usually people that write blogs and try to, show up under these, what formerly used to be featured snippets, and then have people follow through to their website. But if the information from your page is being presented by generative AI, there might not be a reason for people to click through. Now, I thought this might not be an issue for local SEO, but let's keep watching the announcement and we'll see that we might have some things to think about.
And by the end of the year, AI overviews will come to over 1 billion people in Google search. But this is just the first step. We're making AI overviews even more helpful for your most complex questions, the type that are really more like 10 questions in one. You can ask your entire question with all its sub-questions and get an AI overview in seconds. To make this possible, we're introducing multi-step reasoning in Google search, so Google can do the researching for you.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Tell me more.
For example, let's say you've been trying to get into yoga and Pilates. Finding the right studio can take a lot of research. There's so many factors you need to consider. Soon you'll be able to ask search to find the best yoga or Pilates studios in Boston and show you details on their intro offers and the walking time from Beacon Hill.
That's the longest tail keyword I've ever seen in SEO history. Okay, so one thing I'm curious to see is what happens if we search this right now? So right now we're just getting what seem to be mostly listicles and a little bit of Yelpage, right? And also the article from Google I/O. What's important to note here is this isn't how people search right now. So this is going to require people to start searching differently. But since they're already interacting with ChatGPT like this, it could be an easy transition. Let's see what happens.
Google gets to work for you, finding the most relevant information and bringing it together into your AI overview. You get some studios with great ratings and their intro.
Okay, check this out here. So it's actually answering the question, right? They wanted to know the walk time. That's easy. That's Google Maps, right? But then it's also getting the intro offer, which isn't like a setting in the Google Business Profile. So where is it pulling that information from? The page? I'm intrigued.
And you can see the distance for each. Like this one, it's just a 10-minute walk away. Right below, you see where they're located, laid out visually. And you've got all this from just a single search.
Rightly so, like me, you may be wondering now, how the heck can it do this? How is it amalgamating these little bits of information together? Well, they tell us.
Under the hood, our custom Gemini model acts as your AI agent, using what we call multi-step reasoning. It breaks your bigger question down into all its parts, and it figures out which problems it needs to solve, and in what order. And thanks to our real-time info and ranking expertise, it reasons using the highest quality information out there.
I'm sure some of our friends that have been fighting spam content the last year might not agree with that last statement, but we'll cut Google some slack here since we normally just deal with local SEO, and, map pack results are usually pretty good. Now, if you've seen the live stream already, you know they go on to give some examples of some other ways you could use AI overviews like meal planning, which is really cool because you can swap stuff out as you go along. But I want to show another example that implicates local SEO. And before I show that, I have to show this part because this is where they're specifically mentioning Google Business Profiles without specifically mentioning Google Business Profiles.
So since you're asking about places, it taps into Google's index of information about the real world, with over 250 million places and updated in real time, including their ratings, reviews, business hours, and more.
This might be the most interesting implication for local SEO.
But what about all those times when you don't know exactly what to ask and you need some help brainstorming? When you come to search for ideas, you'll get more than an AI-generated answer. You'll get an entire AI-organized page, custom built for you and your question. Say you're heading to Dallas to celebrate your anniversary, and you're...
Okay, so the example is kind of frivolous here. They're talking about looking up an anniversary celebration dinner, but I want you to pay attention to this next part, okay? Because if you're a contractor, you're an electrician, you're a health coach, you're a naturopath, you're whatever, you are a service-based business, even if you don't feel like you're a service-based business, I'm curious how these pages, I'm really curious how we can influence these pages. That's okay, just keep watching.
And you're looking for the perfect restaurant. What you get here breaks AI out of the box, and it brings it to the whole page. Our Gemini model uncovers the most interesting angles for you to explore and organizes these results into these helpful clusters. Like you might never have considered restaurants with live music, or ones with historic charm.
Helpful clusters. That might be the buzzword going forward.
Our model even uses contextual factors, like the time of the year. So since it's warm in Dallas, you can get rooftop patios as an idea. And it pulls everything together into a dynamic, whole-page experience.
This was kind of the prediction that was starting to happen as this was coming out. What if AI just replaces the entire search engine result page? How does SEO work then? And I thought maybe for informational intent keywords that was going to happen, but I didn't anticipate it happening for local. This is either something to panic about or to get excited about so we can figure out how to optimize for it. One thing that I think is super unfortunate from the Search Engine Land article is they said that one of the top people in charge of SGE said that link cards with AI overviews generate a higher click-through rate than traditional web search results. However, Google will not break down impressions and click data for AI overviews links in Google Search Console. So how are we supposed to track for this stuff? Are we really just going to be guessing going forward? Now they're about to say the categories that fall under these overviews, but I think that these helpful clusters could easily translate to other categories quickly.
You'll start to see this new AI-organized search results page when you look for inspiration, starting with dining and recipes and coming to movies, music, books, hotels, shopping, and more.
Later on in the presentation on search, they talk about how you'll be able to use Google Lens with video, which is pretty cool. Not sure if that will translate to local. Maybe you can move your camera around, which might help for physical location businesses. And this is a really important reminder here.
Everything you saw today is just a glimpse of how we're reimagining Google Search in the Gemini era.
Reimagining Google search in the Gemini era. Google said it out loud. Things are changing. But at the end of the day, that's what's always happened with Google search. It's changed, it's adapted, and it's just doing what it needs to do right now. We have a choice right now. We can be scared. We can run to social media, say that SEO is dead, that things are going to change for the worse. Or we can look at it conversely. Look at this as an opportunity, a way to look for the pockets of growth and to see how we can adapt, how we can thrive in this new search engine that Google is providing for us. Because at the end of the day, we're all just renting real estate. This is Google's product, and our businesses are showing up on it. And we're trying to hope that our businesses show up as high as possible. We've never known what the algorithm says, and we still don't know to this day. And this generative AI part might be scary, but at the end of the day, we're always looking for ways to optimize, right? That is what the O in SEO stands for. So let's find new ways to optimize, manipulate, influence, whatever you want to call it. It's a new era for SEO. And you know what? I say bring it on. Google, keep giving us new features, and we'll keep trying to figure it out, because that's part of the game. And so if you want to try to figure out what those local SEO tips that you'll need to keep up to date with this generative AI search, I highly recommend you head over to yoursmallbizseosuccess.com. That's where I drop my free email newsletter every week with SEO tips, where we stay up to date with stuff like what was talked about in this video and other videos. And if you're trying to figure out how to rise the ranks of Google's AI overviews for local SEO, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that Google Business Profile is going to have a lot to do with it. And so why don't you check out this video where I break down Google Business Profiles for almost 50 minutes. And believe it or not, at the start of the video, I'm talking about AI overviews, even though I call it SGE. Leave a like below if you found this helpful. And in the meantime, go check out that video.